The role of Edward Quartermain is temporarily being played by Les Tremaine.
And Jennings, we'll have some of those lovely winter strawberries for dessert. Stella can tell you where to get them.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and be sure and have some pickle lila on the condiment tray.
But Mrs. Quartermain, you're serving seafood salad.
Don't worry about that. Jennings, Mrs. Quartermain will put it on ice cream if she has a chance.
You are absolutely right, Edward. Pickle lila goes with just about anything.
Will you be home for lunch, sir?
I'm not sure. I have a lot of work at the office.
Oh, but you must be home, Edward. Oh, this luncheon is very important.
Excuse me if I don't sound enthused, Lila, but I've had the cooked seafood salad.
But have you forgotten that Monica has invited that young man from the spa to have lunch with us today?
Oh, yeah, that's right. What was his name again?
Brady. Brady Chapin.
Ah, that's right. Don't worry. I'll be there. I am furious that Alan would allow Monica to bring another gigolo into this house.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Alan.
Have I had any calls?
No, you haven't. But this letter was delivered to you. It's from Pobble, Indiana.
Well, thank you.
Isn't that the town that Jimmy Lee moved to with your old girlfriend?
Charity was neither old nor my girlfriend, Amy.
Well, I didn't mean it that way.
Any way you stack it, Amy, it's none of your business.
Amy, would you file this for me, please?
Sure.
Is that Alan sitting over there?
Yes, and he just snapped at me, and all I did was give him a letter.
What sort of letter?
Well, it was from Pobble, Indiana, so I just assumed that it was from Jimmy Lee and his new wife.
Well, that's a pretty good guess.
Dr. Lanham, please call back.
Hello.
Hi.
You haven't forgotten about the lunch date, have you?
The lunch date?
Yes, well, you set it up. You know, with Brady to teach Edward a lesson of meddling in our affairs.
Oh, yes, of course, I'll be there.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was just thinking about something. Here, read this. It's from Jimmy Lee. He's saying how much he loves being in Provo with Charity and Jonah.
Well, sounds like he's found a wonderful life. Look, Alan, I know that your relationship with Charity wasn't exactly casual. And I'm really sorry that you were hurt.
Monica, why don't you drop the act? I know how much you like rubbing my face in it.
No, I don't, Alan. I really find it boring, as a matter of fact. And I would think after all this time that we could possibly rise above it.
It's a shame we didn't realize that a few years ago. We could have saved ourselves a lot of trouble.
That's true. In any event, no matter where our marriage goes, I'd like us to be friends, at least.
We've lived through an awful lot together, Monica. We deserve at least that much, I think.
Good morning, Monica. Alan, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Had a letter from Jimmy Lee saying how much he's enjoying being in Provo.
I envy him.
Is there something we can do for you?
Oh, would you have a few minutes for a consultation?
Oh, who's the patient?
Elaine Honeycutt. She's in for a follow-up.
Elaine Honeycutt, that's my patient. Why are you talking to Monica?
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw on the chart that she's a cardiac case. I assumed she was Monica's patient.
Well, yeah, Alan asked me a while ago to check up on her, and I did, and I didn't find anything wrong, but I'll be happy to look in her again.
Well, she's waiting in the examining room.
Fine, I will go see her.
Thanks, Monica.
You mind if I tag along?
Oh, could I mind? It's your patient.
Oh, listen, Buzz, by the way, I had a letter for Sandy included with mine from Jimmy Lee. Would you mind giving that to her?
No problem. Thank you.
Well, you had every right to be concerned.
I thought you said she was all right.
Oh, she is peacefully, but I detected a slight dysrhythmia. I think it's probably, stress-induced. I don't know.
Well, she seems to be certainly very high-strung.
Yes, I think so, too. That's why I'm going to give a prescription to the nurse to give to her. I didn't want to deal with it in there. She seems so anxious for us to find something wrong with her.
You're right. Well, thanks for the consultation.
Yeah. Alan?
Yes.
Listen, I owe you an apology.
An apology?
Yes, I do. I have said some terrible things about you in the last few weeks, and I meant most of them, but the ones I said about your professionalism as a doctor, I was wrong. You are a professional, and you are dedicated to your job, and I am proud to work with you.
Thank you.
Your
apology accepted.
Well, I have 100 things to do before we go home to lunch.
Yes, we must make sure to be there on time when Brady arrives. I think it is just about time that we taught my father a real lesson.
Hello. Hello, dear. You're here early.
Yes, I know, and there's a reason. I wanted to talk to you before the guests arrive.
Is something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. It's just there's been a slight change of plans. Look, Lila, Edward is trying to get Alan jealous of Brady Chapin in hopes that he will, well, that he will throw us back together again.
Oh, dear, and we've asked that young man to lunch.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's fine. We planned that. You see, we planned to teach Edward a little lesson about meddling in our affairs.
Well, I suppose that seems fair, but I'm sure Edward meant well.
I don't think so, Lila. I really don't. You want us to get back together again for all of the right reasons, but Edward's reasons are strictly mercenary. All he wants to get back is the 40% of the family fortune that he signed over to me.
Oh, I'm sure Edward only wants to get it back into the family.
Alan,
Oh, hello, Father. Has our guest arrived?
just a minute. I want a word with you.
Hmm?
I'd like to know what's rolling around in that head of yours.
What are you talking about?
What happened to my hot-headed, jealous, revenge-seeking son?
He went to Portugal.
I'm talking about you, Alan.
Oh.
How could you let Monica bring another gigolo into this house?
Well, I just want to see her be happy. You know, we're living in a very modern era.
I'd say that you've taken leave of your senses. That good-for-nothing spa lizard is after Monica's money. Our money.
I think you're wrong. Monica happens to be a very good judge of character.
Have you forgotten about Sean Donnelly? Brady Chapin is obviously a man who preys on the affections of rich, aging women.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, sorry, Monica. I was just making a point.
Will this do, Dr. Quartermain? It was all I could find on short notice.
That is just fine, Jennings. Thank you very much.
What's all this for?
Oh, well, I asked Brady what he liked, and he said he just adored caviar and champagne.
That's understandable. That's a prerequisite for anyone who's a gigolo.
That must be Brady.
I'll show Mr. Chapin
No,
into the living
Jennings,
room.
that's fine. Dr. Quartermain and I will get to the door.
Hello, Brady. I'm nice to see you.
I hope I'm not late.
No, you're right on time.
Ah, Dr. Quartermain. I brought these for you.
Oh, and they are just beautiful. Please, call me Monica.
I'll just take them to the kitchen, see if I can find a suitable vase.
Well, thank you, Alan, and I shall take your coat.
You look very beautiful today, Monica.
Well, thank you.
New outfit?
Well, no, it isn't really.
Doesn't matter. Whatever you wear, you make it look beautiful.
No, thank you.
No, I mean it. Even in the spa when you're in my aerobics class, sweating, working hard, you somehow manage to look beautiful and radiant.
Oh, well, you're kind.
Now, you tell me if he isn't after Monica's money.
I'm sure that Mr. Chapin is a very reputable young man. I mean, after all, Claudia wouldn't have hired him at the spa if he'd been as bad as you say.
Hello, Mrs. Quartermain. So nice to see you again.
I'm so glad you could join us, Brady.
Mr. Quartermain, you have a lovely home here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
It was all Monica's idea.
Oh, Brady, please sit down.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, well, don't these look nice?
Oh, they're beautiful.
Really-
Thank you, Alan.
Can I get you some champagne?
Yes.
I really shouldn't. I have a stretch class at 5 o'clock.
Oh, go ahead. Live dangerously.
Absolutely.
If you insist.
Of course. And would you like some caviar?
Well, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
Oh, I hear such wonderful things about you, Brady, from the patrons of the spa. Tell me, how long have you been in this line of work?
Well, just about 6 months. I sort of fell into it. You see, I was working on a cruise ship, and the cruise director noticed that I had a really good relationship with most of the women on board.
What a surprise.
Well, she decided to capitalize on that by having me do the on-deck exercise classes, and, well, one way or another, I've been working with women ever since.
And I'll bet you wouldn't have it any other way.
No, sir.
I rest my case.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Quartermain, I've developed a new product for women that I'd like to try and market.
What sort of product?
Well, it's a tanning lotion that would make a fortune, Alan, if I could just find the necessary back. It activates the melanin chemical in our skin, and it actually produces the color in our skin which we associate with being tan.
I think that's fascinating.
And it really works. And I'm sure all of us will agree. There's nothing sexier than a beautiful woman with a great tan.
Tell me, Brady, how much would it cost to launch a project like this?
$5 million ought to do it.
$5 million?
You know something, Brady? I have some money just lying around, and this sounds exactly like what I'd like to use it for as an investment. Would you be interested in taking me on as a partner?
I'd be honored, Monica.
Oh, good.
I have to be honest with you, though. I can't tell you exactly when I can repay the investment.
Oh, well, don't be silly. You don't have to worry about that. We're all family here. I don't need the money anyway.
Oh, drink some champagne, Father. You'll feel better.
And I shall go get my checkbook.
Monica. I forbid you to give that bum 1 cent of our money.
Our money, Edward? No, excuse me. It is my money. It is my money to do with as I please. And I happen to think that Brady's product is very interesting.
That man is after your money.
Look, you either back off and let me do what I want to do with my money, or I'm going to go to the police. I'm going to tell them all about your little scam on getting that money back from Sean Donnelly.
Oh, how long are you going to hold that over my head?
Just as long as it takes for you to realize that all of that money you signed over to me is mine. Mine alone, forever. And who knows? Brady just might be a big surprise and hit it big with this. I'm sure he could sell the product to Claudia at the spa, and from then on, who knows?
I have to tell you, Mrs. Quartermain, the lunch was delicious. And your pickle, Lila, was a wonderful touch with the salad.
Oh, thank you, Brady.
You're very welcome.
Now, I'm completely serious about your tanning lotion. Have you done much testing with it?
Well, just as much as possible, but I'm going to need a little money to do a proper study.
Well, would $1 million get you started?
Well, $1 million would definitely get the project off the ground.
Well, then fine. I'll write you a check.
What are you going to call this line of products, Brady?
I think I'd like to call it Monica. I mean, what better name to describe beauty and vitality?
I don't believe this.
There you are.
Oh, over my dead body.
What are you doing, Father?
Edward.
I'm acting sensibly. I know that that's a new technique in this family, but this nonsense has gone on far enough. What's so funny?
Well, that check you just ripped up was made out to you, Edward.
You see, it's time we taught you a lesson, Father.
Alan and Monica's marriage is none of your business, Edward.
No, we have played a little joke on you, Edward. This whole lunch was designed to make a point.
Were you in on this, too?
Yes, sir, I was. I didn't mean to upset you.
Upset me. I saw the last 40 years of my life flash before my eyes.
No, I think you mean the last 40%.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I would really like to repay your hospitality here. Would all of you let me take you to dinner?
Oh. Well, the Versailles room would be very nice.
Do they serve crow?
Actually, I'm afraid my budget is rather limited right now. How do you feel about Kelly's?